Don't go to a Coldplay concert if you're looking to cheat on your wife, Grant. Don't go to a Coldplay concert if you're looking to cheat on your wife. That's what we learned yesterday in the internet world. Now, no sports really going on yesterday, but that was probably one of the most viral videos I've seen in a very long time.
I saw someone say that calling out of work because you got caught cheating on your wife at a Coldplay concert is a top 5 whitest excuse of all time. And I got to agree, it's very high on the list.
It's very, very high. Now, that moment, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, which I'm sure you do because this video spanned everywhere, it was like my mother's Facebook, sports, pop culture, theater, whatever sphere of the internet you're in right now. That is what you got, that video yesterday. Also, Shane Gillis. We started the day with Shane Gillis. We got to talk about his ESPYs appearance too. But it was almost like Shane Gillis started the morning off really early, a lot of stuff about that. And then it fully just switched to the Coldplay concert.
Okay, so Shane Gillis did awesome. I was actually talking with some of my buddies about what are the best ESPYs performances you can think of. And I believe there's a Peyton Manning year, right? Drake did a really good job. Shane Gillis was definitely high on the list. I love Shane Gillis. I just gotta say, anytime a joke tanks or it's a little awkward, I don't like how he goes, I didn't write that one. Like, nah, man, like own it. You wrote it, deliver it.
I don't know if he wrote all of them, though. That's the thing. Like,
Well, if he didn't, he's the one who said it. So just own it. And if it's awkward, then you're a comedian. You're allowed to make it awkward.
The Deshaun Watson one was interesting. That was the one where I think he was like, I didn't write this.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But like,
I think he said that before he even said the joke.
Yeah, he was. Well, you can only do so much too, though. Like when you're, like, how many times? Because he was not getting laughs. He was not getting as many laughs as he deserved. John Jones was sitting in the back laughing his ass off. All the UFC guys are loving it because they don't feel the fear of getting canceled. Even though I don't even think you get canceled in today's world. Like it's just so much different than where we were like 4 or 5 years ago. Like to get canceled today, like you got to do some really bad things. You can't say like a racist joke. Like Shane Gillis on SNL getting canceled. Like those days are completely over now. But so people weren't giving him the laughs. And like, how many times can you say, hey, not so awkward, don't be so awkward, laugh, have fun, like whatever he was saying, those little like pickups at the end to get people like to feel more comfortable. How many times can you say that? So I don't mind the don't write the joke. I didn't write the joke.
I liked how when he opened it with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's here, everyone's in foul trouble. I was like, okay, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, that was good. Deanna Taurasi, he was like, Deanna Taurasi's in the house, and she just like looks away. That was funny. The best thing was the Brittany Hicks. I like out of all the jokes he told, I thought the Caitlin Clark Waffle House joke was good, but just like as far as simplistic sports jokes, the Brittany Hicks joke was hilarious. 4-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. And then, he goes, hey, nobody knew. I knew none of you guys would know who the WNBA players are. That was fantastic.
Yeah, he did a great job. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But back to Coldplay. So this was really interesting because there was this big executive CEO of some tech company in Boston area, I believe. He's worth $1.2 billion. He shows up to the Coldplay concert and Coldplay flashes him on the screen, and him and the girl just fly out. So then people start doing their research on this because they made it such a viral moment. And I saw a lot of tweets. It's like, this guy didn't have the dog in him. Like if he had the dog in him, you just had to stay cool and composed and just sit there, would have never went viral. Like the video never went viral.
Couple things here. I don't know if he's still worth 1.2 billion. He might be worth 600 million now. We'll see how that divorce settlement goes if it does come. Also, Coldplay blew up the spot because they said, like Coldplay or Chris Martin literally said either they're just shy or that guy's having an affair. And he was spot on because that's what it was. But all those people who were commenting online, and look, I'm not advocating for cheating on your wife. I'm not. But how many times have you been in a situation where someone just says, act like you belong and nobody will care? Like if you walk into a restricted access zone, you just walk with your chest out, your shoulders high, and you don't say anything, or like, just look like you belong, nobody's going to question it. So if they had put him up on the screen, that guy's wife was not at home watching the Coldplay concert Jumbotron footage to see if he was up there. But because of his reaction, it made it this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, massively viral. This was one of the most viral videos I've seen in a very long time. So he ends up sleeping with the chief people officer of the company, so head of HR, and then the person next to them, that girl who's like, she just got promoted. She's like a senior director of HR. So they were all in on this. I do disagree though with the point that, like, if obviously if he acts composed, the video doesn't go viral. With that being said, though, even if he is just there and that gets caught on camera in Boston, somebody was there that knew him. Like, that was going to get back to the wife. I truly believe that somebody would have figured out who this was, because like they were figuring out who the senior director of HR was, who just got promoted there. Like, people were really invested. I still think somebody would have known somebody to get that back and show that he was cheating on his wife.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. And look,
she was cheating on the husband too. She's not out of she's getting divorced too. I mean, we're just blaming him. I mean, she was cheating on the husband.
Yeah, it's good. Like, again, I'm not advocating for cheating. I'm glad they got caught, but their reaction just made it very funny, because that you could see the moment of realization they knew it was over.
Yeah, no, he sprinted out of there. And then she was like, she did turn back a little bit. It was done, but I don't think they could have ever imagined it going as viral as it went. Like, that's the thing. I know they knew they were caught, but you probably don't think that like you're going to wake up and the video got posted at midnight and at 6 a.m. I think it had like 10 million views on TikTok, and then it was circulating everywhere on Twitter.
It had 35 million views in 8 hours on Twitter.
That's crazy. So I put a reply into, one of the accounts that posted it, just like this seemed like a setup. And maybe it was, who knows? It was so like, it was
marketing. Yeah.
It was so perfect. But like I posted a reply and I did it like 30, 40 minutes late. And you really can't get any reactions when you're doing that. But I got like 8 likes on it, but it had like 200,000 views on it. That's how many people were like scrolling the replies of this video just for shits and gigs.
Yeah, it's crazy, the power of the internet. You can get to anything.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is Ride the Line, and that was Coldplay, and that those couples are no longer together. That's how we'll wrap up that segment.
Yep, I agree. I do want to apologize to the listening viewership, to everybody who's joined this community. If you haven't, by the way, hit that subscribe button. Tanner and I are putting content out all the time. Hit the like button on the video as well. It does help us out. I apologize if my voice sounds a little weird. I am currently downstairs in my house, and this kind of leads into an interesting story, one that Tanner knows. But yesterday I was driving home from the gym. I was on the phone with my girlfriend, who just left for a trip, so just keeping her company. She was driving along. She'd been gone for like 3 hours. I've been stationary for about 30 seconds or so, caught in traffic, and all of a sudden I get rear-ended. And I told Tanner the thing that was crazy about it to me was, it wasn't scared so much as startled, because it was so loud. It sounded like a bomb had gone off, but like I wasn't in any sort of pain. I didn't even really know what happened. And obviously I look up in my rear view mirror, and there's this woman with her head in her hands, just sitting there like this over the steering wheel. Like, she knew instantly. It wasn't my fault, obviously, but for whatever reason, she could have tried to argue it was. She knew it was hers. Got out of the car. She was super apologetic. She's like, I'll take care of it. Gave me her insurance card, everything. So as far as all that, it went very well. As God would have it, so obviously the lady who hit me is behind me. A biker pulls over right in front of me, gets out. She walks over to me. She says, hey, this is my name. This is my phone number. I've been an insurance agent for 25 years. If you need help, whatever, if you need a witness, this, blah, 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 blah. She's like, told me exactly what to do and everything, because I've never been hit before. I kind of figured, like, take their pictures.
It's a dirty business.
It is. And I mean, I'm like, I have insurance already. I'm not going through her, but I do have her as a witness. So if for whatever reason this person tries to contest it, I can do that. But I say all that to say that I had a headache for a few hours yesterday. There's a chance I have a very, very mild concussion. I don't think I do, but I just didn't want to be in my normal setup with the big studio lights in front of me if I could avoid it. So
did the cops come?
So I called them. I called the non-emergency police, and the dispatcher lady basically said, hey, if there are no injuries, if the cars are drivable and everything, blah, 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 we don't send people out there. And the reasoning was, we can't make a determination of who's at fault. And the woman who hit me is admitting fault. She's offered to pay for everything, so that's fine. But I understand what the police lady was saying. She basically saying we can't show up there, and it becomes a he said, she said.
Yeah. believe that. I actually got in a car crash like this when I was 18. Yeah, 18. I was driving home from school. I was the one who hit the person, but like I fucking wrecked their car. So we were on the highway and I fell asleep at the wheel. It's kind of scary.
Oh my gosh.
So we're in traffic. We're in like stop and go traffic, but like the goes, you probably could get up to like 40, 50 miles an hour. So like it was stop and go, and I just fell asleep on one of the goes, and I just nailed the back of her car. She was not very nice to me. She was going to pick her kids up from something, and obviously she couldn't pick them up. So that was a little awkward sitting in the police car riding over to the McDonald's on the highway, you know, to wait for someone to pick me up. But yeah, I feel
I never knew this about you.
yeah, I know. I was coming back from my like freshman year before Thanksgiving I came back on like Monday night, and you know, big crash. So I can relate, Graham. I've just been on the other side of it. So
You can't relate. You could not relate to me.
I did get jolted. I woke up right away.
Yeah, that's true. Waking up out of the sleep in the middle of a car crash has got to be a little scary.
Yeah, I was like, what just happened? So Grant's battling though. He's riding this morning. He's riding on Ride the Line.
Yeah, I texted Taylor last night. I said I'm a game time decision. I got to clear the league's concussion protocol before I can be back at the show.
He cleared it. So if you guys can't subscribe to Ride the Line when Grant's here with a concussion, the severe concussion, he's playing through a concussion. We're not supposed to do that in the league. What are you doing? Smash the subscribe button right now. We got a lot of football talk today. We got some potential UFC talk. So big show today. Make sure you guys smash the subscribe button. Check out WSN.com, the World Sports Network, the greatest sports network. You can get sports betting picks, promos, codes, articles, all that good stuff on there. Grant, tell the people why they need to go to WSN.com.
Well, look, it might be the dead season, but the real season of sports, MLB is still going on, but college football, NFL, all the good stuff's about to start coming back. If you're a soccer fan like me, I know this doesn't apply to Tanner, but you're going to get the Premier League starting up in a month. So if you go to WSN.com, not only are you going to get betting picks from a team of experts, not only are you going to get the latest insights and analysis, but you are going to get things such as bonus bets and profit boosts and all sorts of other promotional opportunities from the sports books. So FanDuel, DraftKings, Fanatics, ESPN Bet Rivers, all the big ones. You're going to go there. You're going to get these extra opportunities. Claim them at WSN.com.
Is Bet Rivers still like in business? I know they are, but like, where do they even operate? I never hear anybody use Bet Rivers anymore.
Yeah, they're definitely small. I think they actually have a monopoly in Delaware. I want to say they're like the only online sports book there.
There you go. That's what it takes. You got to have that. Got to have that monopoly. Prediction markets too are getting wild. Like Kalshi, I think those are going to be the next big wave of sports betting in this world, because just like Texas and California, if they never flip, like you can do prediction markets, I think potentially.
So how closely have you been following that stuff?
I saw people betting on the CEO if he's going to have to step down the other day, like that. And those were actually real. Like Kalshi was capitalizing on that, which is really cool for especially their like social team too. Like that's awesome that they can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I've been following this stuff pretty closely. I write about this stuff. I would say probably at least 2 or 3 articles a week about this sort of stuff. So Kalshi is definitely the big one. It started as prediction platforms were legal in all 50 states. Some of them might have not legalized. The concussion brain struggling here. Some of them might have hit back. The big thing that's going on is these prediction platforms, which they claim that they're not offering gambling, and there are some distinct differences. Like, for example, if the Chiefs are betting the Cowboys, you pick Cowboys money line, you pick Chiefs money line, whatever. With these prediction platforms, they'll put things like, will the Chiefs win? Yes or no. And that might sound like the same thing to us, but it does go down to the nuances that are, it's like finding loopholes in any sort of law, and that's where the differences lie. The big thing they're running into trouble with, because nobody cares about like the CEO of will that company resign or whatever, but it is these sports platforms, and they've gotten like cease and desist orders from a bunch of different state regulators. There's currently a huge legal battle in New Jersey, and I think Nevada might have recently signed up for it as well, where Kalshi received a cease and desist order from the state regulator. Kalshi then sued. I think they wanted a temporary restraining order against the state regulator. I believe that was actually authorized by the courts. Now that like there's this whole case, and basically what Kalshi is saying, hey, we're a federally regulated entity. We are abiding by our federal regulations. We don't need to listen to state regulators. And that is true in a sense. However, there's some law that basically says if the laws are written in a way where it's not the whatever's happening was not the intention of the law, then it wasn't intended for federal law to supersede state law. So now they're arguing about that. The states are essentially saying Kalshi's acting as like an offshore sports book because they're not licensed, they're not paying state taxes, but they're being allowed to do what they do. As all of that is going on, FanDuel reportedly has had some talks with Kalshi. You can probably presume why. DraftKings reportedly talking about acquiring Railbird, which is a prediction platform that just got licensed last week or last month. So yeah, it's an interesting time for the industry.
Yeah. Now, with this being said, I think it's terrible that we're betting on like when the CEO is going to step down. Like betting on the rain, that's one thing, betting on the weather, but like there's so much stuff that could be considered like insider. Like we look at like what's his name? Who is the most recent one, Grant, in the NBA?
Of what?
The insider.
Oh,
like
Malik Beasley.
Malik Beasley. Like, you know how many Malik Beasleys you could get betting on when guys are going to step down from their jobs? Like that's the crazy thing, and you can't really police that. Like you're just taking. You can't say, well, since this market involves him, like he can't bet on it. You know.
That's a good point. That's one that I never thought of.
Like if I'm the CEO, I could go smack $1 million down and just retire tomorrow. Not that $1 million does anything for him because he's worth 1.2 billion, but like his left hand or right hand guy, it's like, hey man, like I'm stepping down tomorrow. Like I'm gonna go to Kalshi and place a big bet on that. If you can do it legally, and I feel like you're gonna be able to because it's just you can't really police that. I don't think it's not really insider betting. You're just taking advantage of something you know.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Now, I would be interested to see. I think weirdly, the Jonte Porter thing might be the benchmark for that because he did go to federal court, I think in New York. Now, they didn't end up giving him any jail time, I don't believe, but he was fined a certain amount of money. But I guess there's the precedent that there was at least a case there. But at the same time, like if it's not explicitly written into rules, then let's just say that the CEO, and we're just really going down the rabbit hole here, but like let's just say the CEO bet on himself to get a divorce from his wife, made money off of it, gets taken to court by the federal government, but then he sues them because like you never wrote a rule about this, so why couldn't I do it?
Yeah, like betting on the rain or betting on the weather, that's one thing, I guess, but like I just can't. And then what about when you get those situations where, well, hey, it rained like in this area of the city, there was a small rain cloud, but like in this area of the city, it was like super nice and nothing happened. So I think I love sports betting. I think it's great. I think it's the greatest thing in the world, honestly. But doing the Kalshi stuff, some of the stuff that you can actually do on there, it's pretty wild. It's fun, but I don't think I would do it.
Yeah, prediction platforms are definitely just going to be the thing to watch in the future because even like the crazy bets aside, this whole battle versus state versus federal. Right now, what's going on in Illinois, for example, like FanDuel, DraftKings, and Fanatics are all charging customers an additional 50 cents per bet, or Fanatics is 25 cents, but FanDuel and DraftKings additional 50 cents per bet they place because Illinois just created this crazy tax system where they collect either 25 or 50 cents in taxes for every bet that's placed at these platforms. So they implemented that basically to offset it, but that's effectively lowering odds for customers. So now you're going to get better odds at these prediction platforms because they don't have to pay state taxes. So how does all that play out?
That also hurts the little guy too. Like that hurts the $5 better or the $10 better. Like it doesn't necessarily hurt the guy who bets $10,000 on the game, but it hurts the $5 better. And that's the biggest issue. And I don't really like that. Doesn't sit well with me,
And it's also the $5 better is how these sports books make their money. The $1 better, the $1 parlay lotto ticket. That's how they make their money.
Yeah, definitely. But anyways, Grant, we should get into some college football here. The season's almost here. I think week 0 is coming up in, I think first less 5 weeks, maybe 5 weeks.
I think it might be less than that. It's either 4 or 5.
All right, let's see what we got on tap for a little week 0 in college football. By the way, week 0, dumbest thing ever.
Week 0 is August 23rd.
Call it week 1. Call it week 1. I don't need a week 0.
You know what's funny? I'm on ESPN right now, and they call it week 1.
They do call it week 1. All right, so we got Idaho State against UNLV. We got Iowa State versus K-State. That's the Dublin, Ireland game. Last year, I got railed in the Dublin, Ireland game. I just moved into my apartment. I was setting up my kitchen table, and I'm watching just Florida State get the shit kicked out of them by Georgia Tech. And I was like, I was disturbed. I thought this Florida State, what's the kid's name for Florida State? We never heard from him ever again.
Uwe
Ungale. He should never play football again. If I see him in anything better than the Arena Football League, I'm going to snap. But yeah, I saw that. So that's the game. Iowa State, K-State. We got Fresno State, Kansas, Sam Houston, Western Kentucky. And then you can't beat it. A little Hawaii football game at 7:30 at night. Stanford, Hawaii. That's going to be a fun one. So got some good games coming up.
You know, Oregon's got an Uwe Ungale. I would assume their family.
He's a tight end, I think, right? Or linebacker?
No, he's a defensive end. Unless there's another one. But this one had 10.5 sacks last year.
You talk about the biggest waste of talent. Like when DJ was at Clemson, people look like he was going to be the dude. He was going to be that guy.
He was a 5-star.
He was a 5-star. And I think he was good at Clemson too, wasn't he?
He was solid. He had one, I think it was against Notre Dame when he got his first start and he went crazy.
He's with the Chargers right now.
Did he get drafted?
He's going to get cut. He's the 4th string behind Trey Lance and Taylor Heineke. So he's not going to make it. But that is the fact that any NFL team invested any money into this man is disturbing. He is 6'4", 250. How is he 6'4"? He played like he was 6'1".
The Chargers do have some pretty bad backups. They've got Taylor Heineke, Trey Lance, and DJ Ungale.
Yeah, but you're not going to cut Trey Lance. You're not going to. Heineke's a proven backup in this league. Heineke can spin it, Grant. So
he's a Commanders. He's a Commanders merchant. He can only play well for the Commanders.
But you're not cutting Taylor Heineke. You are not cutting Taylor Heineke. You're not cutting Trey Lance.
I'm sorry. In 2021, in 2021, Taylor Heineke played 16 games for the Commanders. 3,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. This man was legitimately our QB1 3 years ago.
Yeah, but you're not gonna cut this man. This man he's your backup. So you're not gonna cut Trey Lance because people still think Trey Lance has something in there. Trey Lance has never. That's the sad part about Trey Lance. He's never really had his opportunity. Yeah, and
the thing is,
got the chance.
Yeah, so they had the split package thing, whatever, for him as a rookie. When he's a second-year player, they give him the starting reins. I think he's okay in that. That was the monsoon game against the Bears, I believe, to start the season.
He tore his leg up in that game, right?
I think it was the start of the next game against the Seahawks. He broke his leg, and then he was done for the entire season. And then he basically never got to play again because Brock Purdy stepped onto the scene.
Yeah, I mean 21 was when he tore it, right? Yeah, no.
22.
I mean, he's been career stats. He's thrown 5 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's ran for 276 yards.
He's barely got to play.
He's never got a chance, and he was a 1st-round draft pick. So you're not going to get
no. He wasn't a first. He was the 3rd pick in the draft. They traded 3 first-round picks to move up and get him.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, it's insane. It's insane where his career has gone, but he's never really had that opportunity. So, you could be looking at him as your QB too. We just don't know. He also kind of fits into what Harbaugh wants to do there, run the football a little bit, some packages and stuff. But anyways, DJ Ungale should be banned from the NFL because he is terrible. So Grant, college football, big time.
College football. Heisman
Trophy race right now. We got a good one here. Heisman's so hard to predict. It is so hard Do you have Heisman odds? Because I'm going to stay where I can't get them.
Well, I don't have them here in Virginia, but I can probably find them.
I
Yep,
can
got
pull
them
'em.
already. Got them
Okay.
already. So pick a sports book.
Let's pick FanDuel.
Okay, so FanDuel, you've got Arch. Everybody has Arch Manning as the favorite. FanDuel actually has him at the longest odds. They've got him at 7-1. Number 2, Garrett Nussmeier, 8-1. Cade Klubnik, 9-1. First non-quarterback, and it's only at the 4 spot. Jeremiah Smith, 13-1. Julian Sayin, Ohio State, 15-1. Actually, Miss Drew Allar at 14-1. Then you've got Lenore Sellers, DJ Lagway, John Mateer, and Sam Levitt, all 19-1. Dante Moore, 26-1. Ty Simpson, 29. Carson Beck, 28. And then you had some other guys.
All right. Well, number one, that list, Carson Beck is being extremely disrespected right now. He should be much higher than that, much better, because he's proven. Ty Simpson, I'm interested to see what we're going to get with him at Alabama. The Tide need to make the college football playoff this year. So he's the one piece that we don't really know a lot about. So if they don't make it, I think coach should be packing his bags a little bit. But at the top, Arch, let's start with him.
Well, actually, sorry. Can we start with Ty Simpson? Because I want to float something by you real quick.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson just doesn't pass the quarterback name test. It's not, the name has no aura.
Yeah, it does.
No. Like, let's look at the best. Lamar Jackson. That sounds hard. Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Joe Burrow. Those Jaden Daniels. Those are all. And then you get to Ty Simpson.
No, but you gotta say like Ty Simpson. Tyler Simpson sounds a little better than Ty Simpson. I think like that's Tyler Simpson. Like I think
CJ Stroud, Ty Simpson.
This is like prototypical Alabama quarterback though. Like they got away from their roots with
good quarterbacks.
No, they got away from their roots a little bit. Like I'm blanking on all these names, Grant.
Like Mac Jones, Bryce Young.
Mac Jones. Well, Bryce Young doesn't even fit the prototypical quarterback. I want to look up all the Alabama quarterbacks of the past. Alabama quarterbacks. List of Alabama. AJ McCarron, like Blake Sims, Greg McElroy. Like this is the roots of Alabama football.
John Parker Wilson.
Yeah, like Jake Coker. Like Coker led Alabama to the 2016 national championship. Nobody ever thinks of Jake Coker again, but you know the name. It's like that like 6'2" white quarterback. I guarantee Jake Coker's 6'2". Let me look up his height. Guarantee it. 6'6". Okay, a little off. But like that's still like, you know what I'm saying? Like this Ty Simpson is getting Alabama back to their roots. They're going to run the football. They're going to do play action. They got a little fat white quarterback who we're probably never going to remember after this season, but he is going to contend for a national title.
Speaking of white kids you might forget at Alabama, do you know that classic video of like that receiver who was there in 2010 or so, and he's imitating Nick Saban in the locker room? And Saban talks about how he doesn't like to do the impression in front of him.
Now, right? Or something.
He's the offensive coordinator at Wake Forest.
No way. That's the best video, like training camp with the Tide, and he's in there imitating Nick Saban. I bet he's a good guy to play for.
100%. That video alone, there's no doubt. And if he can do that, and Nick Saban can like smile while he's talking about that, means Saban liked him too. So yeah, definitely gonna be a good coach.
Yeah. So Ty Simpson, Alabama. Number one, he has aura. I think if Mac Jones had aura at Alabama, if Mac Jones can have aura, Tyson, the way you get aura is you win football games. It's that simple. So, and I can't guarantee anything, but the Crimson Tide will not be playing in the ReliaQuest Bowl next year, Grant. They will not be playing in that game. They're going to be hosting a home playoff game. That's what they're going to be doing.
Well, they got to make sure their quarterback's not tipping their signals.
No, he was so bad. Jalen Milroe is so bad. And they still almost won that game. They still had 1st and 10. And I was at that game. It was miserable. It was like fumble. The rain hit Alabama really hard in that game because they had back-to-back fumbles on the 10-yard line to start the game, which gave Michigan more points than they scored all season right off the bat. But like you still had a chance you still had 1st and 10 from like the 15-yard line going in. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and just like turnovers and rain and everything. When you're running into Mason Graham and Kenneth Graham, like that's not the type of game you want to play.
No, but it was just not a good performance from them. That they were a better team. Like I will stand on that. If it doesn't rain, he could have tipped his plays all day long, and they still would have won the game if it doesn't rain. They were just that's just what it is. But tipping didn't help. So let's start with Arch Manning. I think Arch Manning in the Texas hype's a little too much right now. We don't know what we're going to get from Arch Manning next season. Paul Feinbaum shook his hand at SEC Media Day, and like I've never seen Paul Feinbaum smile like that for meeting Arch Manning for the first time.
Was Paul Feinbaum? He said, I'm pretty sure he's the one who said something insane, like this is the best quarterback that we have ever seen. It was something ridiculous.
He's a Manning disciple. He loves Arch.
So this like, and Arch could be great. Okay, I'm not trying to sound like I think Arch sucks, but I don't get why people talk about him the way they do. It's
he's a Manning.
Okay, yes, poor choice of words. What he has done does not add up to the way they talk about him. They say, "Oh, he's so tall. Like, he's 6'4". Most quarterbacks are 6'3" or 6'4". Oh, he's so fast and he's a great runner. Is he? He averaged 2.3 yards per carry in 23, 4.3 in 24. He's not that fast. I'm sorry, just looking at him, he's faster than Quinn Ewers, sure. He's not – when he gets to the NFL, he will not be running the ball. He might escape the pocket, but like everybody is – Baker Mayfield is good at escaping the pocket, picking up yards. Can Arch do that? Sure. But he's not some revolutionary running quarterback that's going to change the way you play. Okay, he's got this incredible arm talent. Does he have more arm talent than Quinn Ewers, your guy? Yeah, he probably does. Was he great against Mississippi State? He was. He also completed 50% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions against UL Monroe. And now he's the Heisman favorite. He's had 2 starts. One of them was good against the worst team in the SEC, and one was bad against a terrible team. And this is the guy that we're putting at 6-1 to win the Heisman. Let's just chill. Like,
now,
could we get 2-3 weeks in the season and it's vindicated? Sure, but right now it's crazy.
So while I do agree with you there, I think the fact that he has sat 2 seasons helps him, number one. There's no like, I'm leaving. Like he's been all in on Texas football for 2 seasons. He's already kind of had the aura of being the guy, which I think helps. Like, it's not like people didn't know who Arch Manning was. People were calling for Arch Manning over Quinn Ewers. And, credits to Sark for not making that move. Paul Feinbaum says all the time, he's like, man, if Texas would have made the switch to Arch, they would have won the national title. And I strongly disagree with that. Like that is insane to me.
When Arch got put in against that Georgia defense, now Quinn looked terrible too, but Arch was doing nothing against Georgia.
No, I mean they were prepared for it. I mean, he had 1 carry, 5 yards. I mean, like Arch, and he had a big carry against Ohio State in the semifinal game, 1 for 8. That was a big first down play, I think, down the right sideline.
I was talking about the game in Austin. He was 3 of 6, 19 yards, got sacked twice, 4 carries, -1 yards.
He's young. I mean, he was young at the time. That's why he's been there 2 years. But the fact that like if Sark felt he would have had a better chance to win with Arch Manning, he would not have been loyal to Quinn Ewers. There was no loyalty because like Quinn's a Texas guy. Like if he felt he had a better chance to win, he would have made the switch. I don't think he would have had a better chance to win. So
I bet the boosters were wanting Sark to put Arch in too.
Yeah, I bet they were too. But like, don't get me, Sark's there to win. Like that's what people don't get. Like half the time, like there's no loyalty. Like if Nick Saban did it with Jalen Hurts versus Tua, and like at the time, Tua gave him a better chance to win, and he did win. Here with this case with Arch, like I don't think Arch gave them a better chance to win than Quinn Ewers last year. Quinn Ewers was a very good quarterback. He was good enough to win games. And when Arch went, Arch just didn't have that experience. You couldn't put Arch in late in the season in a big time SEC game when he's barely played. That's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Now I'm looking around. I do understand. I don't think there's somebody here who we know for a fact is going to go in and dominate and put up monster numbers. Do we know Cade Klubnik is good? Yes. Do we know he's going to put up crazy numbers? Crazy numbers? We don't know that. I think the most guaranteed bet to put up huge numbers is probably Jeremiah Smith, honestly.
Yeah, potentially. I think the most guaranteed numbers on this team, like just pure number, not on the team, on the list, pure numbers is Carson Beck. Like he is
It could
going
be,
to
yeah.
he is going to unleash the football in the ACC. Like that Snapchat that's like has him not the ones where he's like trying to get some picks, the one where he's like just run me over so I don't have to play football anymore. That's
Yeah.
not the case in the ACC. In the ACC, you're just having fun. There's no like SEC pressure. Man, there's boosters, I'm sure, and Miami used to be good, but there's no SEC pressure. Like I think he's going to have a monster season. They might win 9 games and not do anything, but I think he's going to be fantastic.
No, I'm with you. And we talked about this on a previous episode where Miami could go to the college football playoff and lose in the first round. They might not even make the college football playoff, but like they're going to be a lock to win at least 8 or 9 games. And he is a lock to put up big numbers, assuming he can still hold the football.
Like Clemson's the favorite right now to win the ACC, but Miami to win the ACC is like they're a clear number 2.
It's going to be Miami, Georgia Tech, and SMU probably fighting for that last spot.
I don't think much of SMU, but Georgia Tech, I do. Now that what? Because if Miami would have just won that final game, they were going to the college football playoffs. So that would have knocked out SMU.
I think it would have knocked out Clemson.
Well, no, because Clemson won the game. Clemson won the ACC title. Oh, but it would have been Miami versus
Clemson
SMU.
wouldn't have been in the ACC championship game. Yeah.
Realistically, the best team in the ACC was Miami last year, but they played no defense. You can't play no defense. So Garrett Nussmeier, I really like. I think LSU is going to be very good. They have a tough schedule, but I do think Garrett Nussmeier is going to continue to perform. I think he could be number 1 pick in the draft next year. He's that good.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think it's possible. The guy that I have the most confidence in to potentially be the number 1 pick is probably Drew Allar. But that being said, I think it could be a Josh Allen of the last 2 years situation. Now, granted, Josh Allen did win MVP last year, but you and I talked about numerous times, Josh did not deserve MVP. Lamar deserved it more. You can argue Joe Burrow deserved it more. There's arguments for several people. You can argue Saquon deserved it more, blah, blah, blah. Drew Allar, Penn State's just not a receiver school. So Drew Allar could be great. He could show you the tools. He's certainly got the physical tools. He could be the first pick in the draft, but I think that's more likely than him winning the Heisman. A guy who I think is actually being slept on a lot for this Heisman Award is DJ Lagway. I think Lagway is awesome. I am baffled that Lenoris Sellers is getting as much hype as he is, and Lagway is being forgotten about to such a great extent. I would flip those two around. Lagway, he's raw, yes, and he needs to improve a little bit. But Florida, they're in the SEC. The schedule's going to be hard. It's not going to be like it was last year. He was a freshman last year. And when he is on, he is super on. You saw the impact in Florida winning games when he was on the field last year versus when he got injured. So I would be looking at him.
Their schedule is just ridiculous. You go Long Island to start, they'll win that. Then you go USF, they'll win that. Then you go at LSU, at Miami. Miami is going to be, Miami. Florida's going to be ready to win that game. Don't get me wrong because of what happened. But like Miami, when you got to play on the road now, like it's going to be a good revenge spot for Florida from last year. But still, I think Carson Beck is going to be just spinning the football that game. Home against Texas, at A&M. I don't think much of A&M. I still think A&M's not going to be great this year. Mississippi State, Georgia at home, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State. Like that's a pretty brutal run.
Yeah, this is worse than I remembered it being. I still like Lagway though. I'm gonna say I still have a lot of confidence in him.
I like Lagway. I just don't think he's there yet. Like I think next year, obviously, he's going to be the favorite to win the Heisman, unless Arch is still in college. It would be like Lagway, Arch, because a lot of these guys, Klubnik's going to be gone, Nussmeier will be gone, Allar's going to be gone. I like Allar a lot. I kind of agree with you there. The fact that like Penn State's going to run the ball, they're going to play clock control, but as far as just pure talent, raw skill set, like, and people still think he sucks. Like there's a negative connotation around Drew Allar, which is crazy. But how he handled himself, like this is where I felt like he really arrived. How he handled himself when he threw the pick against Notre Dame when they easily should have won that game, right? Like that was the moment where I was like, I'm a Drew Aller guy. Like him blaming it on himself, taking full responsibility. Because there's a lot of pros. Like we talk about Mark Andrews. He couldn't even get up on the stand after he fumbled the football.
Yeah, I agree. Now that some of that may be the differences between quarterbacks and other positions as well. Quarterbacks, it's kind of bred into you to be a leader, but some quarterbacks also aren't great leaders.
If you're a pro, that like going back to Mark Andrews, that was bullshit. Get on the stand.
It was.
You're a professional. Get on the stand, answer the questions.
There's a lot of people I know and respect who are super, super high on John Mateer. I don't know if you've heard any of that. He's a Washington State transfer. He went to Oklahoma. He went with either his head coach or his offensive coordinator. I forget which one. Last year at Washington State, 3,200 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Also had 800 rushing yards and another 15 on the ground. So that's a total of 44 touchdowns to 7 picks. Oklahoma, SEC school, obviously, they do have a tough schedule. They host Michigan. They host Auburn, host Texas, host Ole Miss, host LSU, and then they're on the road for South Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama.
Well, I'll tell you what. Alabama is going to beat the living dog shit out of Oklahoma this year in Tuscaloosa. That is going to be a murder. So you can mark that down as a loss right there. Oklahoma, what's their win total at? I feel like this is an underrated team. They got a good coach.
Let me find that for you. I can do it real quick. Let's see.
6.5 minus 184.
That's not terribly surprising, honestly.
You beat Illinois State. You beat Temple. You beat Kent State. There's 3. Oh, my God. They are going under like crazy.
Under is plus 148.
How do you have 7 wins on there?
Oklahoma's going to be a good school. And look, John Mateer is, what is he, 7th, 8th or so in Heisman odds? Like, he's there for a reason. This is a very good quarterback. And if you have a quarterback, you have a chance to win. But it is a very tough schedule.
Yeah, but where are your 7 wins? Like, okay, so
Illinois. Let's start them at 3-0. Let's just say they beat Michigan too. Let's just put in
going to though.
Right, but like if we're just trying to find 7 wins, so we'll go Illinois State, Michigan, and Temple. Kent State is going to be your 4th. So there's 4. Now we need to find 3. You have Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. Are there 3 wins in there?
Probably Missouri, right?
That's 1. So that gets us to 5.
South Carolina, no. Auburn, give them Auburn.
That's 6.
You got to steal one.
You got to steal one against Texas, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Alabama.
And that includes beating Michigan. Like this was a 6-win football team. They stole one against Alabama last year. Like I don't see them winning 7 games. I think 6 max.
I think you're right. I'm actually going to go back and look into this more, but this could be for plus 150 or whatever it was. This could be a good bet.
Depending on how good Auburn's going to be this year.
Auburn's going to be better.
Yeah, but they're not going to be great. You might not beat Michigan too. It depends what Michigan's got a quarterback now, even though.
Well, they don't know that.
They don't, but they have it's better than Davis Warren.
Yes.
So
it is better than
Davis Warren.
And Alex Orji.
And they're going to play good defense. Alex Orji was horrendous. But Davis Warren I liked a little more. But
did Bryce Underwood win the job? Is that confirmed?
How can you not have him win the job? You're paying him Dave Portnoy money.
You know what's funny? I'm playing as a Middle Tennessee State in a dynasty on NCAA 26. And I just entered my 3rd year, and Bryce Underwood was in the portal, and I got him to commit.
All the stars go to the portal. What are you playing on rookie mode, Grant? There's no chance. There's no chance.
I'm on Heisman. Are you kidding me?
No chance he's leaving Michigan to come to Middle Tennessee. Come on.
Well, it obviously doesn't make sense. I did have an undefeated season and go to the college football playoff. So, like.
You got that NIL money?
Yeah, we're making it work down there. I don't even know what our mascot is. What is that? Isn't it like a blue raider or something?
Yeah,
it's the lightning.
Lightning. Middle Tennessee. Hey, UConn's going to be freaking nasty this year. Watch out for the Huskies.
Every year you talk about UConn, and like I'm not saying you're wrong, but just like look for a new team.
Watch out for the UConn Huskies. Notre Dame too, over 10.5 wins. I saw a lot of people talking about this. Like Notre Dame might not lose a game this year. They might lose one, maybe.
Who's
Notre
their
Dame.
is it Boise State is like their one tough game?
No,
Or
it's
it's Boise State and Texas A&M. That's who it is.
Boise State is going to be nothing. They may freaking kill Boise State.
Boise State's, you know what's Boise State is only plus 190 to make the college football playoffs. So they're basically saying like, so let's assume we go to the 16 team model, and we get 5 plus 11, so 5 conference champions, 11 at larges. That really means there's only one spot for a G5 school. It's going to be that 5th conference champion because they're not going to get any of the at large bids. Yet Boise State is plus 190. So they're saying it's like it's close to 50-50 that Boise State is going to be the best G5 team.
But like when you look at a team like Boise State, can they replicate what they did last year losing Genty? Like these are the schools that can't replicate success. I know Boise State's been successful year after year, don't get me wrong, but like is this the same team that they had last year? And we just don't know. Like Genty carried them last year.
He did, but they also built their team or they organized things that they allowed Genty to carry them. Like Maddox Madsen is supposed to be a very talented quarterback. He's going to have a much larger role this season. We'll see what happens. But kind of to your point, their starting running back is a guy named Malik Sherrod who did 5 years at Fresno State. Last year, he had 60 carries for 196 yards, 3.3 yards per carry. Is that going to be part of a team that's plus 190 to make the playoff?
Yeah, no, Notre Dame, their toughest game, if they beat Miami in Miami to start the season, that's going to be a hell of a game. I can't wait to watch that.
Oh, I totally missed out on the schedule. Sorry.
If they beat Miami, then Texas A&M at home, Purdue, Arkansas, Boise, NC State, USC at home, at BC, Navy, Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Stanford, like they're going to win. They're going to win 12 games.
Yeah, beat Miami and they go over 10.5 pretty easily.
Getting Miami week 1's good for them. That's exactly what they need.
It is at Miami, which definitely, I mean, we talk about it like with the Miami Dolphins too. You don't want to play one of those physical cold weather teams. So getting them early in the season at home, that's the best possible scenario for Miami. But I agree that it's good for Notre Dame in the sense that they were coming off of the being runner up in the national championship game. Like they were right there. So they're going to have all of that motivation. We've been waiting this entire summer to come back and win this game.
Yeah, but like also too, the way the national championship shook out, they should have never even been in the game. Like Ohio State should have wiped the field with them. Credit Notre Dame for staying alive a little bit, but Ohio State should have wiped the field with them. It was 21-0, I think, right?
It was something 21-20, something like that. You're right. They should have won by 20 to 30 points.
Yeah.
And they still ended up covering that 8.5 against all odds because it looked like Notre Dame had locked up the spread at the end of the game, and then Ohio State covered. So,
Carson Beck is going to be a monster this year. Like we're going to make memes about Carson Beck because of how good he is.
Well, I'm interested to see how he does in week 1 because Notre Dame's going to play that aggressive man coverage. They got a corner who's a freshman All-American. You know they're going to have a good defense. So we'll see what happens. Week 1 will be a very good test for Carson Beck coming off the injury.
There's so many good week 1 games. We get Texas, Ohio State. Like that's going to be awesome. Yeah, that's going to be fun. We're going to find out what Arch is made of right there. It's going to be, I'm so excited for college football. Nothing hits like a college football Saturday. As much as I love the NFL, like just the rivalry and the pageantry and the fans of college football, it's like, that's what makes it so special.
A good weekend of college football. The problem with college is it can have bad weeks.
Yeah, but like even a bad week for college football, there's still a competitive game on at some point. You just don't know when that's going to be. Now, we can't get week 1 all the time. Oh, damn. Wait, week 1, Grant. So week 0, they wrap week 0 into week 1 now. So week 0 is like Saturday, August 23rd. That's why it's showing it. Because then there's games Thursday and Saturday. Friday, Saturday. Syracuse, Tennessee. What else we got? Alabama, Florida State. That'll be a slobber.
Those two teams, they've been talking a lot of smack about each other. Thomas Castellanos is going crazy.
I'll be interested to see what game? Oh, BC,
Florida State and Alabama.
Okay.
Castellanos is at Florida State now.
So he went from BC to Florida State.
Yeah, and he's been talking like Alabama said something, blah blah blah. We're gonna just remind them of why they went 2-10. Castellanos like Alabama can't stop me, which is crazy because like every defense in the ACC stopped him last year.
He
So
was good early. Like I don't want to like he came out strong, but like the problem is like when BC beat Florida State at Florida State before the wheels came off. Did BC go to a bowl game last year?
no, they went BC. Sorry,
BC won like 4 or 5 games, I think, last year under Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien's going to have that program cooking.
They played Nebraska. They wwent 7-5, played Nebraska, lost 20-15.
Like that's a great season for Bill O'Brien in his first year at BC.
Agreed.
But you look at Castellanos, like, and he benched Castellanos. But when the problem is we had a warped perception of teams like Boston College last year, because when they went on the road and they beat Florida State, like after the Ireland game, when everyone was like, this team's going to bounce back, like Florida State just sucked. Like it had nothing to do with how good BC or Georgia, and Georgia Tech was a good football. Tech was.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Castellanos, like, I think he'll be better this year, but like, him saying that Alabama can stop him is nuts. He was 13 of 28. Now he did have 3 touchdowns against Louisville, against Virginia Tech, 200 yards, a QBR of 15 against Virginia Tech. They lost to UVA. Yeah.
You don't give Alabama bulletin board material. Don't give it.
No.
All right, Grant. So wrap the show up. Let's do UFC picks. I'm going to run through them real quick.
All right. This is all you. I know absolutely nothing to get to it.
All right. The people don't want the UFC picks. People need the UFC picks on the main card. I'm taking every single favorite on the main card. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared for that. This is a night where the favorites are going to dominate. Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Zellhuber is minus 550. If you want a little more value, take him to win by points. I think this one's going to go the distance if he wins. If Johnson wins, it's going to be by a knockout. So if you like Michael Johnson, instead of taking plus 390, take him by knockout. It's probably 6-1. Daniel Zellhuber, Grant, 26 years old. Michael Johnson, 39 years old. Big difference there. Daniel Zellhuber wins. Younger, it's going to be better. Patricio Pitbull versus Dan Ige. I look at Pitbull, had a really rough first fight in the UFC. I think he's going to be better in this one, but he's in a tough spot because if he tries to throw hands and be really aggressive, it's not going to end well because Ige can definitely strike with him. And if he tries to fight a boring fight, I think Ige's got the edge too when it comes to takedowns and on the floor as well on the mat. So I will go Dan Ige minus 210. Kevin Holland versus Danny Rodriguez. Kevin Holland's a dog at 170. He was not meant to fight 185, but he is a dog at 170. Danny Rodriguez does present some challenges when it comes to striking, but Holland's more athletic. He's more rangy. He's going to be able to keep the distance. I think we get a club and sub here. Nice little knockout punch, jumps on top, chokes him out. Minus 520. I love Kevin Holland by submission for plus 272. Then we go Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. This is a tough fight. I don't really have much lean here. I like Kopylov. I think he's just a little bit better striker. Good counter strikes, good combinations, better takedown defense. But Costa is definitely a dog. So I'll go Kopylov minus 230. I hate to do it, but I'm going to take it. And then the main event, the big one, Grant. You've been following this one. Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, right?
Yeah.
The last time Dustin Poirier makes the walk to the octagon in New Orleans, his hometown. Well, he's from Lafayette, but that's pretty close. Dustin Poirier makes the walk to the octagon in New Orleans, Louisiana, one of the most trashiest cities on the face of the planet Earth. It is a disgusting city. It is disgusting in every which way. And Dustin Poirier will get knocked out in his hometown by Max Holloway in his retirement fight. Everyone's like, oh, Dustin beat Max twice already. That was a long time ago. Max wasn't ready to fight 155 against Dustin last time. Now he is. He's a striker. He's a brawler. I think we're going to see a big difference. A lot to overcome if you're Dustin Poirier too. Retirement fight at home. Emotions are high. He's been crying all week on all the inside UFC videos and stuff. He's not ready for this moment. Max Holloway is. And Grant, too, I was thinking about this. Like being an athlete, you get the chance to go on the road on senior night and just beat the living crap out of a team and ruin their night. That feels really good. That's the spot Max Holloway's walking into right now. So I think it's a great moment. And the great ones do go out on their backs. So I will take Max Holloway to win that fight.
UFC related. Did you see Tony Ferguson is going to fight in boxing?
Whatever that is, I think that's something to do with one of the John Anik's brother, I think maybe runs that, whatever that is. I don't know if it's bare knuckle or what, but it's
No. It's Misfits, which is owned by KSI. It's
oh
that whole ring. He's fighting a guy. I don't know if you will have seen this. This is a shot in the dark. But like 3 or 4 years ago, there was a guy who went viral for running in slow motion. Do you know that like he was does this ring any bells?
yeah, kind of.
Okay. Anyway, he's fighting that guy, literally a TikToker. Now, the TikToker has been fighting other YouTubers and stuff like that and knocking them out, but now Tony Ferguson is boxing him.
Boxing doesn't do it for me one bit. Like, and I don't get me wrong, I like watching boxing, but the problem is where we're at with like UFC being so prevalent in mixed martial arts in general. Like, I'd probably rather watch PFL than boxing, but to make boxing work, you have to have the storylines. That's why the Paul brothers have been so successful. Like Rough and Rowdy, like I think that's more entertaining because it's just random dudes fighting on the streets. Like I want to watch the UFC more than I want to watch just a boxing match, unless it's on Netflix and it's readily available. But like I don't really care about Jake Paul going for a title. Like I cared more about Jake Paul Tyson because I wanted to see Tyson. Like you need to create storylines that people care about in boxing in today's world.
Well, speaking of Jake Paul, I saw that Turkey, I wish I could remember his last name. He's a Saudi Arabian boxing promoter, sports promoter, but boxing specifically. He's been involved in a lot of the big fights recently. He said that there is a proposal to have Jake Paul fight, get this, Anthony Joshua.
Wow.
And he said that Jake Paul has already agreed to it and they are sending it to Joshua. That is, first of all, if Jake Paul does that, the jokes can go out the window because he's finally fine. Like he will get beaten into the next universe. I know Anthony Joshua kind of had that like mental hiccup after he lost, and it seemed like he was going crazy a little bit. But like this man, he's built like a slab of marble, like a Greek god. He's 6'6", former heavyweight champion of the world. He will hit Jake into an early retirement.
I want to see Jake get challenged a little bit. Like the Canelo Alvarez Terrence Crawford fight, that'll be fun on Netflix. But like that's Dana promoting it, so it's obviously going to be big. It's like that's the stuff I want to see. There's too many fights. Like I'm looking at the boxing schedule right now. Manny Pacquiao still fights.
Oh, I saw something, but I saw
What?
he was like making a comeback or something.
That I remember the only boxing fight that I watched growing up, like where we were all like really invested and it wasn't like a WWE pay-per-view, like that we bought was like Pacquiao versus Mayweather. That was the one.
And the crazy thing is, like you're saying, Pacquiao's still fighting now. When that fight happened, which was like 2014,
Yeah.
maybe 2015, we were saying they were too old at that point when that happened.
And then Mayweather, like Conor boosted Mayweather up.
They both did a lot for each other and for boxing, and they made a lot of money off of it. Like that was just, it was a great event.
Yeah, it was a great event. Connor's been sending a lot of picks out lately, but he's coming back. He'll be
Connor
back.
going, I think they went 9 or 10 rounds. Connor doing that with Floyd. Now I know Floyd's not really an offensive fighter and he's small, he doesn't hit crazy hard. But still doing that is remarkable considering, yeah, he was a striker in UFC, but he was not a boxer. So to do that against maybe the greatest boxer ever, according to some people, I don't agree with that, but like you'll hear that case. That was ridiculous that he was able to get that far.
That was prime Connor though. Like Connor's just so long gone now. Grant, one thing I'll leave you with this. If you've never been the best new up and coming promotion, it's just too violent for TV. And that's the problem. I think the biggest problem that's going to hold it back, but bare knuckle fight championship is the greatest thing you're ever going to watch in your life.
Bare knuckle, I can see why that's too violent for TV. Is it in arenas or is it like outside? Or?
No, it's not like hillbilly shit, Grant. It's like it's in arena, it's in a ring. Like they were at Mohegan Sun the other week. They go around, they go to Philly. Like look it up. It's a big promotion. It's actually on the come up. I think it'll be not, it won't be UFC, but like it's something that the UFC could buy. Honestly, it's that good. The problem is you just can't get it on ESPN. Like ESPN's not going to show it. So
how do you sign up? I'm sorry. How do you sign up for that?
It's a lot of guys that are just like some UFC journeymen. Like they've done PFL, they've done, they've done the other one, Bellator. Like it's a lot of those kind of guys that just like to fight. And, you know, there's a kid from Connecticut who was doing it. He had a bunch of fights in PFL and Bellator. And now he's just doing this. And I think you can make some decent money. They actually, Connor is a investor in it. So they just announced a tournament. I think the winner gets 15 million. It's like an open weight tournament, or 20 million. And it's like anybody can enter in the league, in the whoever's on the roster. And like you might have to fight a heavyweight if you're 110 pounds, you know? So it's pretty cool.
I don't mind seeing something like that. I don't think it's necessarily, it's not very fair, but if it's clearly laid out in the rule book, like, hey, this could happen, and you sign up for it, then you're putting yourself in that spot. And if that's the case, then I wouldn't mind seeing that. Actually,
that's a special occasion though. Like usually they're fighting in their weight class. If they're ever in the DC area, like go. It is life changing. It is life changing.
Well, as you know, my mom was trying to get me to go see the Savannah Bananas when they were in DC, and that got us into some hot water on our YouTube page.
Oh yeah, the people
there's Twitter page. Sorry.
You know what? Jelly Roll the other day was on, I think it was on McAfee. I'm not sure. And he was like talking about how much he loves the Savannah Bananas. And I like Jelly Roll. So I kind of felt bad about that.
Yeah. I don't know. Was that person, the person who tweeted us, guys, by the way, go follow us, the World Sports Network on Twitter if you want to see. There was a guy who tweeted us, and like, it seemed like he was the Savannah Bananas PR person. All he did was tweet about them. He had like 4,000 followers or something.
He was the official mascot of the Savannah Bananas. But I don't believe that, because like he'd be verified and he wouldn't be.
And his username, it was just a bunch of weird numbers and letters, I think.
Yeah. It was like at Savannah Banana 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or something like that. So anyways, Grant, that was Ride the Line. We rode this morning. Grant battled through a concussion, talked some Heisman. So it was good.
Yeah, I think the girl behind me rode a little too hard yesterday, rode right into the back of my car, which I'm going to get fixed today probably. But it is what it is.
There you go. Well, that was Ride the Line, greatest podcast and sports betting entertainment. Grant, take us out of here.
That is going to do it for today's episode, guys. Before you click on out of here, please go scroll down, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Jump in the comment section. As always, we are responding to everybody. We will catch you all in the next episode of Ride the Line.